Um, I thank you everyone for joining this webinar. It might be an evening, an afternoon, or a morning for you. Welcome to today's webinar. Um, my name is Sam Hussein. I'm the director for BLS Global. Um, Today, we're actually going to be talking about Panama, Latin America, key to securing strategic and profitable investment, which is, I'm sure, very appealing to a number of attendees here. Just to give you a bit of background about BLS, we've been at the forefront of connecting of high net worth individuals, professionals, and advisors with global opportunities through our flagship events. We have a number of investment, immigration events, residency, and citizenship events, as well as Expo. And we actually have one coming up on the 12th of July in London. We host events in many different countries and jurisdictions where there's a huge appetite to get the right information. We do we are a knowledge hub, have a decade of expertise, and we're proud to lead this conversation regarding residency and citizenship by investment, as well as how you can secure second passports or making um, profitable investments, especially in the real estate sector. Today's session, we're going to be focusing on Panama, a rising star in the global investment landscape, offering a robust residency option, tax advantages, and long-term growth for strategic investors. I don't know if you're aware, actually, over 150,000 foreigners have obtained a Panama residency via property investment, and it's really helped to boost the economy since 2010. And these are the statistics that are being prepared by the Panama Migration Authority. Panama real estate actually has increased by 23% in 2024. I hope I've got that figures right, Alfredo and Eduardo, um, as you are the experts. Driven predominantly by foreign buyers, and this is another statistics from the Panama Developers Association. Um, some interesting facts, actually. Over 16,500 millionaires just in the UK itself are projected to leave this year. It's actually after China, which is quite shocking. And with all the things that are going on, a lot of people are looking for stability and a good high yield and of course safety. I don't want to take the limelight away from Alfredo and Eduardo. I do have Umar here, who will be hosting the webinar, but you will get a presentation from Eduardo, and Umar can kindly do an introduction. And if we do lose you, please know a member of our team will be in touch. And if you do have friends or families that are keen to understand about the Panama real estate as well as the residency program, we're very happy to give you a free consultation one-on-one. Further ado, I think it's Uma. It's better that you introduce the speaker, and then we can take it further from there. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Sam, for your welcome message. So my name is Uma. I will be helping to host the webinar today. I will just run you guys quickly about the flow of the webinar today. We have Alfredo and Eduardo with us. I will be introducing them in more detail shortly. Alfredo will be starting the presentation. Eduardo will be continuing. And at the end of the presentation, we will have a Q&A session. Feel free throughout the presentation as your questions pop in, just drop them either on the chat function or better actually at the Q&A, so we can address them all at the end of it. And the recording will be sent out to everyone, so if you miss something and then you want to go back and listen, you will have all the information. You will have the presentation sent out to you and the recording of the webinar. And of course, you'll have a chance to speak one-on-one after the webinar with our panelist. So quickly to say why we're here today. So we are introducing you to a Pacific Developers, leading real estate company in Panama, and they will and we will share why British and European citizens choosing Panama recently to invest and thrive. Panama offers unique mix of stability, opportunity, and quality of life. It has a strong economy, favorable tax policies, which is very important these days, and straightforward residency options. For UK European citizens, the appeal is also clear: a lower cost of living, warm climate, and access for excellent healthcare and infrastructure. So key highlights about the company. Pacific Developers is one of Panama's leading real estate development firms with over 25 years of experience in delivering high-end residential and commercial projects. They're based in Panama City and have completed more than 3.5 million square feet of constructions in country's most exclusive areas, and they've been recognized internationally and received awards for their luxury housing. Okay, and now about our speakers, Eduardo and Alfredo Gateno. It's a pleasure to welcome you guys for today's session. Eduardo is the president and founder of Pacific Developments and has been a key figure in shaping Panama's city skyline over the past 25 years. He's developed some of country's most iconic residential and commercial projects. And Alfredo, as executive vice president, is a major role in expanding the company's reach, driving award-winning projects in Sea Point and building strong partnerships. Okay, so we're glad to have them with us today, and we're gonna start with the video. Alfredo, would you like to start?
Yes, we'll go right into the second.
Le città invisibili evidenziano i confini intangibili tra realtà e finzione, tra memoria e desiderio, tra passato e presente.
A symphony so coherent, it makes life easy.
MOVA, a symbiotic organism where sustainability, urban connectivity, and design comes together to create a unique shelter, as dynamic as the city that surrounds it.
Rather than succumbing to fleeting trends that change every few years, it is essential to focus on what is universally important, the environment. Therefore, it is crucial to design solutions that depict oneness with nature and do not become obsolete. Culture influences design. Design molds our values. Values guide the future.
Each element is a living organism that evolves and adapts to the lifestyle of its residents. Space is molded for life, exploration, and adventure.
However, no one can whistle a symphony. We need an orchestra to play it. And these are our musicians.
An unconventional concept in the center of Panama City.
Soft and timeless, awake and alive.
MOVA serves as a thread that weaves together a collective story. It's inspired by the generations before us, and it propels and forges the future.
Heritage and tradition ushers our local ecosystem sustainability, cultivating bold, contemporary, innovative, and visionary living.
Moving onwards, vigorously aware. And when your heart cries out for adventure, you've got it all. MOVA by B&B Italia, a place to find connection, inspiration, and purpose. Where feeling at home is a natural part of the journey. MOVA by B&B Italia.
Thank you for this video, guys. This was about your new development MOVA residencies by B&B Italia. And now, Alfredo, if you're ready, we can start with your presentation.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Uma. Thank you, everyone. I'm just going to get back to the presentation 1 second here. I'll be with you in 1 second. Okay, there we go. So, hello, everyone. Welcome to MOVA, welcome to B&B Italia, and welcome to Panama City. We're very glad you guys are here, connected to participate in this webinar. I'm saying hi from MOVA House, which is MOVA's experience center right in the middle of downtown Panama City. This is a city project that, as you have seen, and the video you just saw was created by a Netflix director and a Nat Geo director. So as you can see, it does not only showcases the project, but it also shows how it will be to live in the middle of the city in a very centric location. So we have spoke a little bit about Pacific developers. We have spoke a little bit about the experience we have. To summarize that element, we have been in the industry for 25 years. And nowadays, we got to a point where we are used to do the best high-end residential projects in Panama, first row oceanfront views. And then we said that Panama City was ready. When we finished those projects, we said that Panama City was ready to create the first and only fully branded residences in Latin America. This building, and the meaning behind it is that we didn't want it to create a regular branded residences where you enter to the lobby or you enter to the social areas and then you have nice furniture. Here, in this case, we wanted to bring the B&B Italia craftsmanship, which is a brand that has over 60 years creating lifestyle, creating pieces of furniture that are defined as sculptures. And at the end of the day, we wanted to bring the brand to the inside of the home of the people. And in that way, by bringing the brand inside, by having B&B Italia kitchen, closets, and bathrooms, we could bet on people having a better lifestyle and elevate the way they live. So it wasn't enough for us to have the first fully branded residences in Panama where nice furniture are made, but we also wanted people to be able to experience the brand on their everyday life. And what a better way to do it, like in a centric location in the middle of the city, and with a project that you will be able to discover in a bit. So that's a little bit on Pacific developers. We spoke about the team. Basically, what we all of the pictures that you will see on the first part of the presentation are 100% real pictures taken from our completed projects. This, for example, the one you see on the display now, it's our flagship project, Sea Point, which won many international awards by being one of the best high-end residential developments in the middle of the city. So we have been developing the Panama City skyline over the last 25 years with mixed-use project, with only residential. Some of them are only residential, some of them are only commercial, some of them are mixed use. We spoke about the success in number that Pacific Developers has had. Only last year, we delivered over 381 units. So we continue with our future growth and generational synergy. I take charge of the sales of the company, while this is a family business and my father does everything that has to do with architecture and engineering. So we try to complement each other in order to become and continue to be a leading real estate firm and development in Panama. So our approach, we have designed here for this webinar, and this is something that we have done over the years, a holistic approach in regards of to develop a full solution to the people or to the clients or to the investors that want to consider Panama as a potential destination for investment. So we have very good benefits in regards of residency, either residency or tax residency, which we will see in detail in the later slide, by investing in a dollarized economy. And for us to be able to offer the holistic approach, we want to be able to manage the property that the foreigner clients are buying. Okay, so at the end of the day, this is not only a residential key to be able to enter to the Panamanian market, but we will be able to cater specifically to each and every one of you in order to give you the full solution. Not only the residency, not only the property, but the whole ecosystem that you will be able to need in regards of an investment in a foreigner country. So as you can see, this is the Panama City skyline. Panama City has been known by the Miami or the next Miami or the Dubai of the Americas or the Singapore of the Americas. So there's a pretty much development. We have very oceanfront properties. We connect the Atlantic with the Pacific. You can be in the morning in the Pacific and in the evening in the Atlantic, and we connect both oceans through the Panama Canal. So as you can see in the news over the last few months or year, the Panama Canal has been predominantly in the news because everyone now wants to come to Panama. All of these multinational companies, the development that you see in Panama are very interesting options. And it's a country that is growing. It's a country that will have a lot to say in the next couple of years. What is interesting is that you guys will be entering to right in the beginning of the project, right in the beginning of this boom in the real estate economy and in the real estate industry. Okay, so first of all, let's start with the residency programs. Okay, Panama offers a fast-track red carpet visa, which will allow you to be able to have between 30 or 60 days the migratory residency for foreigners, and this can be done by a real estate investment in our project, which you will be able to buy a property that is $300,000 minimum, or you will need to do an investment of around $300,000, and then by buying a pre-construction unit, for example, in MOVA by B&B Italia, our residential project. Also, that's one of the options. Another option that you may have is by investing in the Panama stock market, an amount around $500,000. Both of those options, the securities or the real estate investment, will be able to allow you to be able to have the red carpet visa. This is a very smooth process. You even go like a VIP inside the government facilities. You just need to be one time in Panama to be able to sign, and then after that, you will get your residency between 30 to 60 days. Another option for the residency might be the tax residency, which will the investor will need to demonstrate that he has a regular house in Panama or a regular domiciliary position in Panama, and then with that you will be also able to have the pay only taxes for what you make in Panama and not what you make outside. Okay, another picture of the beautiful skyline of Panama City, and this is very interesting position on why Panama. So everyone is talking about Panama nowadays. I just heard this morning in the news that that every bank in the US, the Bank of America, it's looking with very good eyes the development of Panama. And as you can see, Panama has been for 3 years in a row the #1 retirement destination in the world. So we have been very consistent in regards of where are we standing in the global scenario. So all of these high-end profiles, people are coming to Panama, and it's starting to be trendy because it's very affordable, it's very relaxed, it's very developed. So as you can see, headlines from International Living, headlines from Business Insider, and this is not some headlines that we brought from many months ago. These are things that every day, these are articles that every day they come out. Time Out magazine, it says the stunning Central America country named the best, world's best place to retire. So now all of these places, nomad capitalists, retire in Panama, the ultimate guy, Forbes, the world best place to move or retire, ranked in a new report. 7 tempting tax benefits of retiring in Panama by the finance boss. The Times also speaking about Panama, the under the radar Central America spot that is increasingly cool. So all of these elements, they all sum up to be able to be very successful in regards of your real estate investment, and at the same time on your residency. You will be able to have an investment, a real estate investment in a dollarized economy. And by having a dollarized economy, you're always protected in regards of the currency that you use. We do have a very solid banking system, a very stable, which houses one of the largest free zones in the Western Hemisphere, and the second largest in the world, because of the canal, because of the strategic position we are located, and we house as well over 100 locals and international banks. So this gives us a lot of stability and growth in economic. We are the largest exporter and importer on a regional level, and one of the most, if not the most stable economy in America. So very, very good news for Panama, and very good news to be able to have a residency in a place that it's still developing every day, and it's still bringing people to be able to to bring a lot of gains and benefits. Panama as the hub of the America, it's a very interesting position. So on the right side of the screen, you will see videos of the beaches of Panama, of the potential in tourism that Panama has, and we connect nearby any destination in the country, in the continent. We have air connection for over 19 destinations in America, in Europe. In 2 hours and a half, you can be in Miami, and you have like 10 flights a day to Miami. You have direct non-stop flight every day to Istanbul. You have direct non-stop flight to France, to all of the major cities, to Amsterdam, to Paris, to Spain, to Madrid, to all of the major cities in the world. So the connection that Panama has and the strategic airport we have, that we are allowed to be able to serve over 15 million passengers to direct flights worldwide, and this is something that it keeps growing. As you can see, the Panama Canal is one of the major key players on the GDP of Panama. We have had a couple of years ago a 5.25 billion expansion, which assures that we will be able to have a strong infrastructure and economic growth. We have also inaugurated a new convention center, new metro lines. So all of these elements, they contribute to be able for people to be able to have a quality of life. And that's one of the key reasons on why we are #1 retirement destination for so many years. The climate is very warm. It's only 2 seasons a year, the rainy season and the sunny season. We usually have sun from December to March, and then the rest is rain and sun at the same time. If it rains for 10 minutes and it stops. So it's a very tropical country, and it has a very lush natural landscapes that will be allowing you to live and have access to beautiful beaches in less than an hour. We have very, very low risk of natural disasters. We do have political stability, stable democratic elected government, ranked in high political stability by the EIU, and boosting investor confidence. Also, we have been one of the safest countries in the region. We have world-class healthcare, Johns Hopkins affiliated hospital, so very affordable prices in regards of the medical element. And then we do have some very interesting tax benefits. which will allow you to be able to buy an investment in real estate, have a special big visa, and only pay a territorial tax only for the income derived within the territory of Panama, and no taxes are, we do not charge taxes of whatever you get outside of Panama or whatever you gain outside of Panama. In regards of the property tax, we do have an exemptions for the first 5 years after the project is completed. And after that 5 years, what is very interesting is that you only pay 0.5% of the value of the property in taxes. A property in Mova by BNB Italia, the entry-level unit is $315,000. This is nothing a year compared to whatever you pay everywhere in the world in regards of property tax. So all of these elements that you have seen that I have been speaking about makes you consider Panama as an investment destination, as a place for second home, as a place to retire, as the top 3 retirement places in the world, and to be able to gain and enjoy the quality of life that Panama has. In Panama, most of the high-end families, they have a domestic employee. You pay them $500 a month, and then they sleep in your house, they cook for you, they drive you wherever you need. So it's a very, very comfortable life, and that's why people are more and more considering Panama as a place to be and a place to live. So now we are going to start speaking about the project that we are now in pre-sales. This project was recently launched in January 28th of this year. And with this project, we feel that we will bring to the middle of the city a place where people can actually live, connect, thrive. At the end of the day, the project name is called MOVA. MOVA means to flow, MOVA means movement. MOVA means not being inside 4 walls, but making the neighborhood part of the everyday life. So at the end of the day, the movement that you see on the name, it's very well placed on the facade of the building. Okay, how do we make it? It's one of the interesting things is that BNB Italia, a brand that was created by Pier Ambrogio Busnelli in 1966, he was able to create a company based on the relationship of humans. So 60 years later, the reason why BNB Italia still is relevant, and the reason why it's a brand that it's one of the top 3 brands in the world in regards of lifestyle and furniture, it's because the foundations of the brand are pretty well done. And again, this is a company that is involved in our residences in MOVA in every decision, starting from marketing, all the way to the webinars, all the way to each one of the finishes that we will have in the project. This is the brand that produces Fendi furniture. This is the brand that it's in all major hospitality places, the Waldorf Astoria residences in New York, 1428 Brickell in Miami. All over the world, the best high-end hospitality places, they're using BNB Italia or some of their brands. All of the Rolex stores around the world, they just use BNB Italia furniture. Any Gucci store you enter in the world, you just see the BNB Italia furniture. So we have been able to create and join our development expertise with the 2 powerhouses of architecture of Latin America. So by being in this ecosystem of brands, we will be able to deliver something that Panama hasn't seen before. And we have been over 30, 40 projects all over the world. And everything we have learned, we have applied it here in this first branded residences. We were speaking a little bit on where BNB Italia is. For example, you can see here in the display, BNB Italia furniture in the Mandarin Oriental residences in Beverly Hills. You can see it in the Butterfly in Vancouver. You can see it in 1428 Brickell, Waldorf Astoria, newly renovated, which is opening actually last week. Casabella Residences, which is our, we can say our sister project from MOVA. This is a project done in Brickell, in Miami, in Edgewater. So it's this type of branded residences. It's starting to take some very interesting force in Panama. The 1000 Museum, as you can see, all of the furniture from all social areas are from BNB Italia, and also BNB Italia has won the kitchens, closets, and bathrooms for the Mercedes-Benz places in Miami and in Dubai. So that means that the same furniture that you see on my back here in MOVA House, you will be able to have in your apartment. Projects that usually sell at $20,000 per square meter. In Panama, it's being sold at $4,600, $4,700 a square meter. So in a way, we democratize the luxury by being able to allow people to have an investment in a place that will have very high-end finishes, and at the end of the day will give you a result in regards of your ROI. So this is the way we rethink Panama urban scene, a place where people can actually enjoy, move within the project, move in the middle of the project as well, and be able to experience what it will be to live in the middle of the city. So this is the piece of land. We are starting construction in around September this year. The pre-sales are already done, but this is the first list of pricing. This is the best moment to enter to the project. This is the most interesting return on investment since we are in pre-construction. So there are not many few projects that are able to connect three main streets around. So this project is almost one block. So we are able to connect the whole project by three different streets. And even if you come, for example, in this street, you can enter throughout the basement of the project and go out to the other street. So the connectivity that we are bringing to this project is something that it's very well connected in regards of being in the middle of the city. Our main neighborhood, it's called Obarrio. Obarrio is right in the middle of the city. Obarrio is a place that has all. And Obarrio is a place that allows us to be able to comply with our design philosophy of live, work, and play. This is only a mapping that we did on the first two circles around the property. And you can see over 39 elements, 39 commercial spaces, 39 services, 39 retail spaces. This is a place right in the middle of the city where you're next to a malls, you're next to a banks. This is like if you were in Canary Wharf in London. This is like if you were in Brickell City Center in the middle of Brickell. So this is a city project that will be able to bring to the community a place, a landscape, sidewalks, all of the things that you may need. It has all of the coffee shops in Panama in one street. So it's a very walkable place to have in Panama City. And the cherry on the top is that right in front of the project, across the street, we will have they are in construction already. They will have a very high-end multinational company, which is called the CAF Bank, which is similar to the World Bank of, it's like the synonym of the World Bank of Latin America. So they're bringing a place where people can enjoy, connect, thrive, and it's the same design philosophy of ours in MOBA. As you can see here, a couple of pictures. It's a very minimalistic approach. It's a very urban project. It consists of 3 towers. We have released Tower 100 and Tower 200. Each one of them, they have 18 floors, 18 and 19 floors. And then you're going to have 13 spaces, 13 retail spaces curated only for rent, the best coffee shops, the best cafeterias, the best art galleries. All of these elements you will be able to have on the bottom, right on the bottom, surrounded by 11 paddle courts, 6 VIP cinemas, a very well-known commercial mall. So all of these elements you will be able to enjoy by living or investing in MOBA. So now I will leave you with my father, who is in charge of architecture, engineering, and the whole development on the project.
Good afternoon to everyone. My name is Eduardo. As we mentioned before, we've been in business for 25 years, and really this project has been our cherry on the cake. We have taken all of our experience, all of our brainstorming, and everything to put down in this project, make it the best project possible. Throughout our life of developing, we have found lately that more people want full services in terms of the fully finished product. We have several investors in our project that only would buy if we do them air conditioning systems, lights, and some decoration. So we have tried to do MOBA close to as close to perfect as possible in terms of doing a fully a turnkey project, almost a turnkey project. You only have to put furniture in when you come in. You will have the MOBA will have all the amenities that you see here, and we'll also have all of the finishes in top of the quality finishes on the apartment, plus air conditioning and lights and smart systems and appliances all included in the package. As you can see here, we have tried to move around and develop right around all the philosophy of having places to live and move and play. What we have done is that we have connected all of the amenities in one level from the 3 towers. Therefore, we can move around the building and you can go to the different amenities. We have all of these amenities that you see here, about 40 amenities that we have defined as part of the project, are qualified in the 3 different towers. Each one has a topic. For example, mobile living, which is the first tower, Tower 100, will have everything that has to do with fitness and wellness. They have a fitness center that will have massage rooms and showers and sauna, steam bath, jacuzzi, and treatment rooms. Mobile connected, for example, is Tower 200. And it will probably have a co-working space. We will have a podcast room, a digital nomads room, a cinema, art studio, a chef's kitchen, a lounge, a library. And then when we go to Moa Play, which is entertainment, they'll have an outdoor cinema, they'll have a playground for kids, they'll have outdoor kids, indoors kids, they'll have a nice area for a bowling alley and bar, they'll have an arcade for younger children, and they will have probably sports simulators, kids playground, and a signature restaurant. So what we try to cover is cover all the bases here in the design and development of the project. We're doing Miele appliances, which is a very well-known brand in Germany, one of the top brands in Germany in appliances. We're doing a kitchen and closets especially curated by B&B Italia. We're doing Lutron light switches. We're doing full-service residential building, which will have a concierge, and you'll have housekeeping if you're not here all the time. You'll have room service if you wanted to have. So you're going to have 24/7 valet parking, 24/7 attendant lobby, housekeeping services, chauffeur services, personal car, dog walking, nanny services, and everything you might think of, it's going to be included. You have a spa, a salon with reservations and everything for women and men who would like to spend time here. So architecture of the building, it's a core building. We have designed a building with a shape that means movement, that as I mentioned before. And this is, as I said and I mentioned before, it's going to be not the typical decorator-ready finish. It's going to be like a turnkey project without furniture. We will have also furniture options from B&B Italia at very accessible prices to complete your apartment. You probably would get, if you wanted the B&B line furniture package, about 45% from this price around the world. That's an agreement we have with the brand, so you can actually even furnish the units with B&B Italia furniture if you wanted to. So everything that you see here is that it's going to come. These are renders from the project, but are actual size, actual measurements. So you're going to have a big shower and a bathtub in each bedroom. Whether it's a 1-bedroom, 2 or 3-bedroom unit, you always have a bathtub, and we'll always have a shower, a big shower. So secondary bedrooms will have a beautiful glass closets made from B&B Italia. And then the master bedrooms will probably have, most of them will have walk-in closets from B&B Italia, the same closets they manufacture for all bags and shoes from Hermes. As Alfredo mentioned before, they are the top brand for furniture in all of the stores of the most recognized brands in the world. So about MOBA, we have done primarily a 1-bedroom, a 2-bedroom, and a 3-bedroom unit. The 1-bedrooms have a very good sized master bedroom, very good sized bathroom, very good sized kitchen, dining room and living room, and terrace. All of our apartments have balconies, so people can look outside and have fresh air. So this is a 1-bedroom. They go from 67 to about 70 square meters, depending on the position on the building. And we made some compares in terms of how a return on investment would be. The average price per square meter is $4,672 per square meter. So the entry price will be somewhere around $313,000. Actual rent price in the market today are $25 to $26 square meter, not with the type of finishes that we do, but a regular standard rent rate is about 26 to 27. We factor in a 10% increase from today until the finishing of the project, which is 3 years away, and that will give you an estimated rent of $2,000 per apartment on a one-bedroom. That gives you a rate of annual rate of return of 7.75%. If you actually, that's a gross. If you go to the net, you discount maintenance fee, which is something also very interesting. In Panama, we only pay about $3 a square meter in maintenance compared to $10, $15, $12, $18 per square meter in the US. Fire, insurance for the whole year, property tax for the whole year. The total cost of expenses are about $2,900. So the annual net return on investment is about 6.75%. We don't make these numbers. These numbers are actually the numbers that come up with the actual rent, only moving them 3% a year from now until delivering the project. And again, these rents are for typical buildings that they don't have air conditioning included or the type of appliances or any of the amenities that we have. So if you compare a one-bedroom in Panama to a one-bedroom in Miami, you're paying 66% less per square meter and per apartment. So you can buy 3 units in Panama for the price of one, basically in Miami. If we go to a 2-bedroom, the same. If we go to a 3-bedroom, the same. So I want you to go back, Alfredo, to the 2 bedrooms and 3-bedroom slide, so they can see. This is our typical 2-bedroom corner unit. It's a beautiful unit with the corner with a nice balcony, dining room, living room, kitchen. Again, as you see, master bedroom has a walk-in closet and also has a big bathroom. You have also here a laundry space and a 2nd bedroom with a big bathroom. So all of our apartments are, it's important to mention, they are 3.2 meters high, about 10 feet high. So you have height, you have glass around, so you have luminosity in all of the apartments. This is a typical 3-bedroom. The 3-bedroom will be also nice kitchen with the island, the dining room, the living room, and the balcony. And it has 3 bedrooms. And this is a 3-bedroom, 3.5 bathroom. So this one has a powder room for guests. So we wanted to give you a brief idea of Panama. We wanted to give you a brief idea of the company. We wanted to give you a brief idea of the project and its component. And now we're ready for questions.
Thank you so much, Alfredo Eduardo. Is that all from your side?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Great presentation. Thank you, guys. You made me want to move to Panama myself, especially considering we don't have today any sun in London. So we had questions in our Q&A session. We can start. So first question we got from Mr. Sunil. It was about what's the percentage of personal tax and corporate tax in Panama?
Okay, actual personal tax is about 25%. Corporate tax is about 27%, and that's if you're making business in Panama. So it goes anywhere between 20 and 27% for corporate.
Okay, thank you. So the next question from Sebastian was similar. It was about the taxes and also closing cost. Is there anything you would want to add to that?
Yeah, the only other thing about closing costs is closing a unit. It's a percentage of the value of the unit. It will depend on the size of the unit, but it's a very affordable. To give you an idea, I think it's 0.05% or something for closing. $1 million unit, it probably is gonna be anywhere between $4,000 to $5,000 of registry taxes only. So there's no additional tax because everything has to be paid by the developer. So the closing cost of the unit is going to be around, in our project, it's probably going to be around $3,000 to $4,000 maximum.
But Eduardo and Fred, as a developer, you take partial payments, or so how does it work when it comes to the payment structures?
For us as a developer, we have a payment structure on the units that goes like this. We do reservations on units with $10,000, and then after that, we sign a contract. We get in a contract between 30 and 40% down payments along construction. So that means that you will get 10% down at signature of the contract, and then 5% every 4 to 6 months up until the 30 or 40% threshold. You will be able to qualify if you have a proof of your status. You will be able to qualify even for financing or mortgage if you have paid up to 40% of the unit. Sometimes, depending on how much information you can provide to the banks, to the local banks, it'll require a 50-50 split in terms of the mortgage. But if you're not interested in mortgaging, you only have to pay 30 to 40% and payment at the end of the project.
Okay, so because we know it's a requirement of 300,000, do they apply for the residency once they put the 300,000, or they can start initially upon the deposit and of second phase?
Okay, so I'll answer that question. It's a very good question, Sam. I think it's important for them to know that if you to qualify for the investment, you have to have invested $300,000. So what we have done before, for some customers who have already applied to the visa, is we have they put down they sign a contract, they give you 10% down, and then they make an advance payment of $300,000. Okay, we put that in a guarantee, like in a trust or a security deposit guaranteed for the payment at the end of the project. They'll make interest on their money on about 5%, close to 5% on their money up until closure. And with the deposit of $300,000, the bank will issue certification that is presented to the immigration authorities, and that will qualify as an investment.
Okay, Eduardo. So let's say our projections are completion is going to be done in 18 months or 2 years. Well, what's the
No, we have a timetable of 3 years, basically. What we do is we're starting in September. From September will be everything, as you have seen in the pictures and the renderings, everything is underground parking. So we have to do four stories of parking and perimeter walls and everything. So it takes about a year to come up off the ground, and after that it's 18 to 24 months to finish. So we're estimating 36 months out of September 1st.
So I'm just thinking, as an investor, we know the government requires you to put 300,000 into the program to get your residency. Okay, now you've got 3 years. You're going to set aside that money because you don't need that full amount of money. You might, and would that be money being redeployed into another project? Would there be another negotiation because, or they're going to go into an existing development? What would you do as a developer?
I'm going to explain you how we did it with a customer who bought a unit recently. So it's very simple to explain. He bought a unit for $450,000, for example. It was a 2-bedroom unit. So he signed a contract that had two parts of the contract: the typical payment schedule and the guaranteed final payment plan. So the contract had $150,000 of periodical deposits he will have to give throughout the construction, and a $300,000 that we put on a bond for him. So what we did is that we secured that money in a CD deposit. He gets the benefit of a CD, but that will allow him to get immediate applications to the residency because he already have put the $300,000. Let's say, for example, he with that money, he's making 5% interest on a certificate deposit. That's secured by the bank. Only will be released after 3 years to pay the balance of the unit. So they have their money secured by the top bank here that will guarantee that money will go towards the finishing of the project. If by any chance the project doesn't build or the project doesn't complete and as per the contract, and the money will be returned to the buyer.
Okay. So great. Okay. Because a lot of people are asking here the timeline. From your experience with your clients that have invested minimum 300,000, how long have taken them to obtain the residency or citizenship?
So let's do it again. Let's say you buy a $350,000 unit. You can all pay the $350,000 unit right away. we only take the 30% as part of payment for the contract. The 70% extra will be put in a bond or a certificate of deposit, and you will be allowed to apply for the residency right away. So that will give you an opportunity to apply the residency right away and have the residency within 60 days. So that's stage one. Stage two, you buy a $450,000 unit, for example, and then we will do the same. If you pay $300,000, we'll separate with the 30%, which is $125,000. You only have to pay $175,000 more. That $175,000 will go into the security deposit, and that will be guaranteed for payment at the end of the project. If you go to a 600,000 unit, which is a 3-bedroom, 650,000, you can pay 50% off, and that will qualify you immediately for the investment. So in all events, any of the purchases that you do, as long as you pay $300,000 within both deposits and actual extra payment for the end, that will give you the opportunity to qualify immediately. We just have a customer who placed $300,000 in April, and he's coming last week of April, and he's coming the second week of July, third week of July to sign his residency documents already.
Okay. There was one more question regarding taxes. Maybe while we're on this topic, we can answer that. From Oliver, there was a similar question, purchase cost and tax like stamp duty.
What? Can you say that again?
So there was a question regarding what is the purchase cost and taxes like stamp duty.
I think
okay. The typical units run from 1 bedroom to 2 bedrooms to 3 bedrooms. So the 1 bedroom starting price is about $315,000. That's the base starting price. The second, the 2-bedroom unit is probably about $460,000. Average size 100 square meters, and the 3-bedroom, typical 3-bedroom is about 142 square meters, and that starts at $650,000 approximately.
Okay. Thank you. Next question from Mr. Ahmed was, how many family members can I bring with me? Is it limited to just immediate family?
I guess it's a good question. I don't have a straight answer for that, but I guess it's one household. Okay, wife, children, first relationship, first degree of relationship. I wouldn't think that they can give residency to non-dependents from the family.
All right, thank you.
I think for Mr. Ahmed, you need to get in touch with us for a private consultation, because there might be options of like family reunification and so on and so forth, but that's something depends on case by case. Yeah. So I think we've seen some question from Sebastian. He's concerned about some of the traffic, and I think there's a big expat community. Do you want to discuss the community, Alfredo and Eduardo, and why you've chosen that location?
Okay, Obarrio has it's in the center of the city, in the downtown Panama City. It used to be where very wealthy single-family homes were held in the last 50 years. Since it's in the middle of the city, the same way center of London, same way the center of New York, and same way the center of Miami, like downtown Miami or even Brickell, it has started to develop as a new fancy location. The good thing about Obarrio is that it has a lot of commercial space around it. So it's already, the commercial part of Obarrio is already being developed. It's the one community in the whole country that has underground electrical wires and underground services. Now there's a big plan coming up of improving all the sidewalks in the whole neighborhood, because they want to improve the neighborhood because it's right in the center of the city. So you develop from the center of the city to the outsides of the city, obviously to avoid traffic. So what they're doing in Obarrio is Obarrio is being now recognized as a top neighborhood to develop, because it's close to everything. It might be it might have some traffic at peak hours, meaning 3 to 5 in the afternoon, or 3 to 6 in the afternoon, or 9 o'clock in the morning. But I go to a bar every day, and I live. My office is maybe 15 minutes away, but I don't have to go through a highway. I don't have to go through get stuck in the corridor or in any of the roads to go outside of the city. So you might have a little bit of traffic around in some at some high time hours, but other than that, in afternoons, mornings, or late afternoons and night, there's not significant traffic in the area. Maintenance costs for the property are going to be around $3 a square meter. We're estimating $3 to $3.50 per square meter.
Hope that answers the question. Then we had a question from Mr. Anthony. He was asking, is there restrictions or special requirements for UK investors?
No, not necessarily. I think UK investors qualify as friends as different type of visas for Panama. I think there's only you're gonna need to have I don't know how you say this in English. Record policivo, which is a regular check on your
it's a normal OFAC check.
Status.
Yeah.
OFAC check, like an OFAC check, yes, an OFAC check. I think it would be, and that you have no issues with the law, and that would be suffice. I think the only thing that is needed to apply for that is you have a good standing. If you have a good standing and you have a good standing certificate, I think will be enough to apply.
Yeah, I don't think it's very complex in that sense. So it should be. I think I'm seeing a lot of stuff on the retirement, and some people are asking on the Panama pension. Like a lot of the pensioners who are looking at retiring, how does that operate? Do you give any help on that, Alfredo? Like, because a lot of people.
It's okay. There are several retirement benefits on Panama for Panamanians and foreigners. For example, you get a 25% discount on food and services. So if you are a retiree in Panama over the age of 60 for men, over the age of 57 for women, or 55 for women, you get what it's talked about senior citizen discounts. So you get that with food, with beverage, and sometimes even with air tickets. So you're able to apply. It's a government law for citizens of Panama. Even if you want to buy a ticket to go, let's say, to Turkey, you apply with your certificate of being senior citizen over 60 years if you're a man, over 55 if you're a woman, and you get 25% discount on that. If you go to a restaurant and you eat your meal, you present your certificate and you get 25% off the food that you had. So there's several tax benefits that are for being a residency. But I think the most important thing, Sam, is that you are getting the quality of life that you get. You're getting higher quality of life than you get in European countries and American countries, and that's why people come to Panama as an alternative. I think, as Alfredo mentioned very quickly, you can get maid services for $500 to $700 a month. That is something that you pay a week, or a day, or 3 days in London or in New York. So you actually can. I mean, there's households that have 3 to 4 employees only working at the house because you can actually afford that. Maintenance fees are 1/3 to 1/5 of the price of maintenance fees in the U.S. Property tax is 10% of the or 15% from the property tax in the U.S. And you're actually buying a property that it's equal or even with better finishes than what you buy in the U.S., in Florida, or in UK, or even Europe, and you're paying 1/4 to 1/3 of the price. So when you equate all those numbers and you want to retire happy and not spend all your money away in properties, this is a very good proposition.
So actually, let's talk about this standard of living and living cost, for a lot of people. Because it seems like on this webinar, it seems a lot of Americans, a lot of Brits, a lot of Europeans are coming in. Why is that? Is there, obviously it seems like there's a lot of incentives for senior citizens, but also talk to us about, the crime, the stability and everything. Those are key factors as well.
I think Panama is very safe. I mean, there's going to be cases like everywhere else, but they're very, very limited. So people walk around the city. People can go around. There's no tension. I won't say there's no risk, because you cannot never tell that there's zero risk. But I think it's very limited. We go from place to place walking with no problem. You can wear a Rolex if you want to, unless it's December when the fancy people, they look out for that. But you can wear your Rolex watch every day, and that's not a problem. So you don't have limitations. Like, for example, there's some people in Colombia and Guatemala and Ecuador and all other countries that they have limitations. They move to that country, but they cannot walk around or move around or go places. This is a place that you can go places. And you're living in the middle of the city. And the beautiful thing about Panama, and why is it considered to be one of the top destinations, is because it's still affordable. Okay, so you're gonna get a meal, and you get a full meal for $100 for two people, 100, 180, 120, depending if you drink or not drink. But if you want to have a full meal with drinks, entries, and desserts, you won't spend more than $120 for a couple, or $100 in a fancy restaurant. If you want to go grab a burger and fries, you're probably going to spend less than $20 or $15. So if you compare this to the regular sitting down at a fancy restaurant in London, that's probably going to be 1/3 of the price. Okay, I'm not saying that it's cheap compared to other Latin American countries, but I think it's cheap compared to Europe and the main developed countries around the world. I see some of the questions that have that go from residency to citizenship.
Yes.
I think I want to answer that. The typical stage is that you go from residency to citizenship after you have had at least 5 years of residency. That's an automatic request. So if you have 5 years of residency, you can apply for citizenship.
Okay, hope that answers your question, Mr. Anthony. And Mr. Valley asked similar questions, so that would answer both of the questions. And then there's one more question about business setup, but that could be addressed separately as well. Okay, from the Q&A session, I think that was all the questions. If anyone would come up with more questions after the webinar, we can pass them to Alfredo and Eduardo, or you will be able to ask them directly, email them, because all the information and contact details will be shared. Our team will be able to guide on a more legal side of the process and application if necessary. And of course, Alfredo and Eduardo would be happy to answer anything regarding the company, the units, and Panama. And okay, we just got one more question, the last one. I did not hear the answer to diversify the property taxes. Is there something you could answer, Eduardo?
Yes, the property is exempt of taxes for the first 5 years. So you don't pay taxes on the first 5 years and property tax on the unit. And then after 5 years, you pay 0% on the first $120,000, and then you pay 0.5% on up to $700,000. So all the units that are within the project, most of the units are within the project, qualify as 0.5%. So let's say you bought a $500,000 unit, it's going to be $5,000 a year. Less than $5,000 a year, about $3,500 a year. Sorry.
Okay, so a lot of people can reach out to you directly through the email, through the WhatsApp, also LinkedIn. Um, I think we're doing this just to give people a brief outline, and there's more advantage. We didn't want to go too much into details. It was very much to give you a bit of an outline. There's going to be a number of follow-up webinars that we'll be hosting with Eduardo and Alfredo, and they'll also be visiting a number of destinations in Europe because of course, they're getting a lot of clients from America as well as Latin America. Now they're getting a lot of inquiries from Europe and Asia side. So we want to obviously educate them, facilitate them, and we're happy to deal with further questions because this will be rerun and repeated. I don't know if we've been able to answer some Facebook questions because I can't see those questions. I don't know if they're there. But I don't know, Eduardo, I think, and Alfredo, if you want to put a closing remark to this, because this is one of many webinars, and I'm sure we welcome you to come to London because there's, it's just the timing. You're looking at the statistics and what's happening and the aging population. I'm not saying Panama is just a retirement place, but it also has multiple perks, which you kindly outlined.
Yes.
I think, first of all, Sam, thank you. I'll say something and I'll let Alfredo close out. I think we're very excited to bring our project to you guys and to the European population. I think we feel that Panama is positioned today to be the next Miami of the Latin America in terms of investment. We feel that we have the conditions to the market here. We have a stable government, a dollarized economy, no money exchange loss or devaluation of currencies. And we have a very beautiful country. I mean, we believe in here forever, and you can be in the beach or in the mountains within an hour and a half. You can be in the city, or you can be you can go from one side of the country to the other side of the country maybe in 4 hours, 5 hours. So we're very well connected to major cities in the US and Europe and Latin America. And if the pictures that you saw and the skyline of our country is an attribute to the development that we have done for the last 20 years. So I think it's very interesting for us to open up and go globally in this type of investment, this type of project. And we will be very glad to have to answer any additional questions. And we are probably going to visit London in the next couple of weeks. I might be able to do one-on-one meetings with any customers that would be interested to expand further. I think for us, the most important thing that this is a very important decision for people to make, and we want to be part of to facilitate those decisions in the best way possible.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sam. And yeah, basically most of are already. But I just wanted to thank you personally for your time today. We have been an hour exploring a little bit of Panama. We do have our QR code on the screen, so you guys are able to scan it and connect directly to our WhatsApp and our brochures of the project, floor plans, anything you may need. So just shoot out like a message, and we will be glad to continue to explore all of these benefits of living in Panama and living in the first and only fully branded residences in Latin America, the first B&B Italia project in Latin America and the second one in the world. So everyone now is considering Panama in a very interesting position. Be you one of the first, like the first wave of investors who are going to be able to take advantage of pre-construction prices in our project. We are sold over 50% in 5 months. So we are very happy of the development of the project because it's the only fully branded residences in Panama. So thank you, everyone. Thank you to the host. Thank you to the staff, and thank you to BLS for making it possible.
No, thank you. We don't want Panama just to be having a wave of Americans. We need some Europeans and international citizens out there. So there are people that are coming from Europe, India as well. So thank you very much, everyone. The I think we've given you a brief insight, but there's much more. We can't, I know we've already exceeded over an hour. So we'd love to carry on talking. I think if I give Eduardo and Alfredo the mic, they won't stop talking. So, but we need to make sure that they give you that private consultation, because I think that's what they do. They are. They're not just developers; they're family. That's one of the things I found that was very effective, which they were able to help on many factors, and that's why we're very happy to host this. So, thank you everyone for this. And Uma, maybe you want to say the final goodbyes as you're the host today.
Yes, thank you everyone. Thank you for amazing presentation, Alfredo and Eduardo. Very informative. Thank you everyone who joined and for your questions. And just to remind you all, you will be getting emails with the recording of the presentation and with the links to speak directly with Alfredo, Eduardo, and us. So we'll be happy to continue guiding you through this process. Thank you, and speak to everyone soon till our next webinar.
Yes, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.